Okay, this video is How Women Manipulate Man. It's really quotes, Holy Grail of Wisdom quotes book by me, Pete Rogers. We're going to be talking about this lady here named Esther Vilar. She is a psychiatrist, physician from Germany, okay? And she wrote this book back in 1971 called The Manipulated Man. And what she said was, all this stuff about women being oppressed in the West, it's a big joke. They're not oppressed, they're spoiled. And the ones who are doing the oppression, the women are manipulating the men. Okay, she's a very clever lady. Let's take a look at what she has to say. She said, men get drafted, women do not. Men routinely support the woman. That is expected. Women never or only temporarily support men. You ask any guy, he'll tell you, my money's her money, guy who's married. My money's her money is her money. The woman will have a job, she'll keep her money. My ex-wife never gave me 10 cents. I gave her millions of dollars, okay? Men are automatically robbed of their children in cases of separation. Yeah, the guy gets screwed. They go, oh, we're equal. Oh, we're equal? Okay, why don't you pay for half the stuff? Oh, not in that way. Oh, we're equal? Why don't we get 50-50 custody routinely? No, not in that way. Okay, men have been trained and conditioned by women, not unlike the way Pavlov conditioned his dogs into being slaves. Women have an eye for money. Men only notice a woman's external appearance, and that's also true. A guy, he just needs somebody to cook for him, somebody to keep his bed warm, maintain the house, have some babies for him. He doesn't need her to work. He doesn't need her to be smart. He doesn't even need to talk to her that much, really. Let's be honest. Okay, people say to me, oh, well, your first wife, she was a doctor. I'll bet you guys talked about medicine a lot. Yeah, right. I'm one of the smartest doctors in the world, okay? She don't want to talk to me about medicine. Okay, let's see. What else? She's embarrassed. All right. She says, men do all of the annoying work for us, and we amuse ourselves at their expense. Yeah, men are far stronger than women. We're not a little bit stronger than women. We're way, 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 way stronger than women, okay? So they really can't do almost anything physical compared to what a man can do. They're like a child, like about a 6th grade child. Let's see, what else? Yeah, could you imagine women, doing the heavy work that men do? Yeah, right. Next thing, Esther Vilar. For a woman, love means power. For a man, it means enslavement. Yeah, when a guy gets married, his finance situation goes down. Women spend tons of money. They're very irresponsible with money. They've always got some minor emergency. A guy doesn't need anything hardly. I'm happy all by myself, alone in a room, all day long reading, and then I'll go exercise a little bit for free. That's my day. All right. A woman, she needs to play pickleball, go to the health club, go to the water park, etc., etc. She's always got something that's going to cost money. Whatever it is, some new emergency, some new drama. They always think there's more money coming around the corner. Why worry? Just spend it. Let's see. Next one. She says, as compensation for their labors, men are given periodic use of a woman's Virginia. That's about right. That's how a woman rewards a man, is that, he comes home after a long day, and at night, he gets to make the 2-back beast. That's his reward. Her reward is money, 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 money. I joke that the male vagina is a wallet, and a woman loves to penetrate it. Deeper, 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 harder, faster. Okay, she continues. No matter what a particular man does or how he spends his day, he has one thing in common with all other men. He spends it in a degrading manner, and he himself does not gain by it. It is not his own livelihood that matters. He would have to struggle far less for that, since luxuries don't mean anything to him anyways. It is the fact that he does it for others that makes him so tremendously proud. He will undoubtedly have a photograph of his wife on his desk and will miss no opportunity to hand it around. No matter what a man's job may be, every moment of his life is spent as a cog in a huge, pitiless system, a system that is designed to exploit him to the utmost until his dying day. Yep, that sounds familiar for most guys. And what does he do? He comes home, gives his paycheck to his wife, and she spends it all. Okay, Esther Vilar. As children, we become bored quickly and we change from one game to another. But a man is like a child condemned to play the same game for the rest of his life. How true that is. See how smart this lady is? The house actually belongs to her. Man is in fact a homeless creature. Yeah, it's her house. If there's a divorce, she's going to get the house. Physical unfaithfulness is the only crime that a man will not forgive of his woman. Yeah, a man's expected to tell the truth and do what he says. A woman, oh, I forgot. Esther Vilar, physical unfaithfulness. Okay. Man has importance only as the provider. Yeah, my ex-wife said to me one time, the only thing I need from you is one sperm for each kid. That's it, which is complete BS. I made about 7 times as much money as her. We're both doctors. Okay, she wanted every penny she could get from me. There's one great advantage which women have over men. They have a choice between the life of a man or the life of a dim-witted luxury item. And there are too few women who would not select the latter. Men do not have this choice. She says, when a captive dolphin performs a trick, the trainer rewards him with a fish. When a husband performs a task, his wife might reward him with a fish. Okay, raising 2 or 3 children is easier than having one. If there's only one child, she has to play with it. But if there's 2 or 3, she can just lock them in a room and she doesn't have to do anything. Okay, here's just a joke, my joke. What would you call a man who is physically weak, totally conformist, does not care about excellence, hyper-emotional, takes everything personally, thinks it's no big deal to lie, never says anything funny, and never reads a nonfiction book? You would call him a woman. Women do not use their mental capacity. They deliberately this is Esther Vilar, they deliberately let it disintegrate. After a few years, they revert to a state of irreversible mental torpor, like hibernation of their brain. Why do women not make use of their intellectual potential? For the simple reason that they don't need to. It is not essential to their survival. Theoretically, it is possible for a beautiful woman to have less intellectual capacity than a chimpanzee and still be considered an acceptable member of society. Since women are strong, intelligent, and since men are strong, intelligent, and imaginative, why, and women are weak, stupid, and unimaginative, why is it that women exploit men and not the other way around? Okay, Esther Vilar continues. By the age of 12, at the latest, most women have already made the decision to become the oldest profession. Or to put it another way, they have planned a future for themselves that consists of choosing a man and letting him do all the work. The moment a woman has made this decision, she ceases to develop her mind. She may, of course, go on to obtain degrees or diplomas. This increases her market value in the eyes of men, for men believe that a woman who can recite things by heart must understand them. But any real possibility of communication between the sexes ceases at this point. Their paths are divided forever. Okay, Esther Vilar continues. Men seem incapable of realizing that women entirely lack ambition, desire for knowledge, or the need to prove themselves, all the things which to them are a matter of course. They allow men to live in a world apart because they don't want to join them. Why should they? The sort of independence men have means nothing to them because women don't feel dependent. They're not even embarrassed by the intellectual superiority of men because they have no ambition in that direction. I'll just tell you one story. When I was a young attending physician, married, and I was preparing a presentation at a new hospital, and I wanted it to be really good, so I put a lot of effort into it. And my wife's like, why do you waste so much time? Why do you waste so much time on a stupid presentation? Nobody cares about your presentation. No one cares. You're wasting your time. You're such a typical man, always showing off, trying to be a big shot. A woman doesn't care. A woman doesn't care about showing off. She just wants to survive. Medicine is bullshit. You just sell hot dogs. You sell more hot dogs, you make more money. Okay. Let's see. The next quote by Esther Vilar. She says, women are becoming increasingly stupid while men are getting more intelligent. The gap between the sexes is widening constantly, making mutual understanding virtually impossible, but no one seems to notice. Again, this book was written in 1971. One of the basic principles of biology is that intelligence develops only in the face of competitive stimulation. Women, however, stand outside every competitive field. The glut of modern conveniences dulls their brains. In reality, women are unimaginative, stupid, and insensitive. You know what? For her time, 1971, she sounds like Pearl. Pearl is like this female dating coach on YouTube nowadays. Okay, Esther Vilar. greatest ideal in life is a life without work or responsibility. But to lead such a life is that of a child. Someday it will dawn on man that woman does not read the wonderful books with which he has filled his libraries. And though she may well admire his marvelous works of art in museums, she herself will rarely create anything new. She will only copy. Almost done. A couple more quotes by Esther Vilar. It is quite incredible that men whose desire for knowledge is unbounded in every other field are really totally blind to these facts, that they are incapable of seeing women as they really are. What a great advantage a man can have over a woman if he were only to know that what cold and calculating thoughts are going through her mind while her eyes are brimming with tears. Women are only interested in what is of immediate benefit to them. Practically all inventions and discoveries have been made by men. Okay, and that's actually true. Women have done very little. Okay, if you historically, and there's a reason for that. They usually had 10 to 15 babies up until birth control in the 1960s. I read Esther Vilar had this list of 10 ways women manipulate men, and I'm like, my ex-wife did every single one of them. So anyways, that's Esther Vilar. I hope you find it entertaining. I'll see if I can find a video for her on YouTube. She was very funny, very clever German lady. Anyways, that's it. Hope you found that helpful.